Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so you've finally done it. You made the leap from a Windows PC over to a Mac. First off, congratulations. But look, I also know exactly what you might be feeling right this second. Overwhelmed, right? Everyone always says, oh, Macs are so intuitive. But man, when you first open one up, it literally feels like you've landed on another planet. Don't worry, you are absolutely not alone, and that's exactly why we're here today. Think of today like a digital moving day. Together, we're going to safely pack up all your old data, move it across town, and then I'm going to walk you through the exact floor plan of your brand new digital home. So, here's our roadmap for the move. We'll start by migrating your PC data, look at using external hard drives, import those crucial emails and bookmarks, explore the Mac Finder, and finally go over some absolutely essential Mac navigation tips. Okay, let's dive right into this with Phase 1, migrating your PC data. When it comes to moving your big, heavy boxes, the absolute best way to do it is wirelessly, using Apple's official migration assistant tool. It's built directly into your new Mac. Here is the exact sequence you're going to want to follow. First up, make sure both your Windows PC and your Mac are fully updated and plugged into power. You'll also want to temporarily turn off your Windows firewall, and any automatic updates, just so they don't crash the party and interrupt the transfer. Next, double-check that both computers are on the exact same Wi-Fi network. Once you've done that, download the Windows Migration Assistant on your PC. Now, quick heads up here. Pay close attention to your Mac's operating system. If you're migrating to macOS Tahoe 26, you specifically need to download Windows Migration Assistant version 3.0.1.0 on your PC. Make sense? Then, just run the app on both machines and punch in the pairing code that pops up on your Mac right into your PC. Easy. Now, we all know moving day sometimes hits a snag. If your transfer gets stuck looking for documents or just seems totally frozen, seriously, do not panic. Treat it like a quick speed bump. Try simply restarting your router first. If it stalls out again, try running the migration but exclude the Applications folder. Honestly, PC apps won't run on a Mac anyway, so no big loss there. If your Wi-Fi is just being way too flaky, you can actually use a physical cable and boot your old Mac into target disk mode. And hey, if it keeps failing after all that, your PC's hard drive might actually have a hidden error. You can open up the Windows command prompt and run chkdsk/f to fix any underlying disk issues before you try again. Moving right along to Phase 2, using external hard drives. So what if you have, say, a massive amount of huge video files, or maybe your Wi-Fi is just refusing to cooperate? You'll probably want to use a physical drive. But watch out for the whole language barrier issue here. Right out of the box, Windows drives are usually formatted in NTFS. Your Mac can read that, sure, but it can't write to it. On the flip side, Mac drives use macOS Extended, which Windows just completely ignores. So the ultimate bridge format, the one that lets you seamlessly read and write on both systems, that's exFAT. Format your drive to exFAT and you're golden. All right, Phase 3, importing emails and bookmarks. Okay, so we've moved the heavy furniture. Now it's time to unpack the daily essentials that really make a computer feel like yours. And this is actually incredibly straightforward. When you open Safari for the very first time on your new Mac, if you had Chrome or Firefox installed on your PC, Safari will automatically pop up a little prompt at the bottom of the screen. It'll ask if you want to keep your imported bookmarks, your history, even your passwords. It's kind of magic, honestly. And as for email, well, even if you are hoarding decades of old PC emails in some dusty archive, you can use the legacy version of Microsoft Outlook for Mac. It'll directly import those old Windows.pst files, so you won't lose a single message. Okay, so your data is officially moved, you've unpacked all the boxes, but here is the really big question. How do you actually drive this thing? It's time to pivot from the physical move and finally learn how to navigate the Mac OS interface. Let's start figuring that out in Phase 4, exploring the Mac Finder. This is where we learn the floor plan of your new house. Back in Windows, you're super used to the trusty File Explorer, right? Well, on the Mac, your direct anchor point is the Finder. It's that little smiling blue and white face sitting down there on your dock. However, I gotta be honest, out of the box, the Finder needs just a little bit of customizing to really feel user-friendly for a Windows veteran. Now, a few super quick tweaks can save you an immense amount of frustration. By default, Finder opens to this incredibly chaotic view called Recents. First thing you do, go into Finder settings and change the default new window to open to your Home or Documents folder instead. Way cleaner. Next, hop up to the View menu and turn on both the Path bar and the Status bar. That way you can always see exactly where you are on your hard drive. Trust me on that one. Then switch to List View. This is especially crucial for your Downloads folder, and sort it by date added. Finally, you know how you'd pin stuff to quick access in Windows? Just drag your favorite most used folders directly into the left sidebar of the Finder. Okay, we definitely have to talk about window resizing, because the green button on a Mac basically ruins lives. In Windows, you hit maximize and the window fills the screen. Normal, right? On a Mac, you'll very quickly discover that clicking that little green button doesn't just maximize, it completely takes over your entire screen in mission control, hiding your menus, hiding your dock. It's a lot. Instead, here's a fantastic secret trick. Hold down the Option key on your keyboard and then drag the corner of any window. It will perfectly and proportionally resize the window across your screen without taking it over completely. And that brings us to the final stretch, Phase 5, Essential Mac Navigation Tips. It's time to translate your old muscle memory. Whenever you needed to, personalize your computer, change a desktop background, or add a printer, you used to go to the Windows Control Panel or Settings. On the Mac, you go up to the little Apple menu right in the top left corner and click System Settings. And here's a pro tip for you. Head straight to the Control Center inside System Settings and immediately pin Bluetooth and sound so they always show up in your top menu bar. It's going to save you so many unnecessary clicks down the road. Let's talk about switching tasks. In Windows, Alt-Tab is practically legendary. On the Mac, your brand new best friend is Command-Tab. Just hold down Command, give Tab a quick tap, and you can instantly cycle through all your open programs. But, and this is a key difference, note that this switches programs, not individual windows. If you want to see literally every single window you have open across all your apps all at once, just do a 3-finger swipe up on your trackpad. That activates Mission Control, and it is a total game changer. In Windows, you instinctively hit the Windows key to open the Start menu and search for your apps. On the Mac, you use Spotlight. You summon it by pressing Command and the spacebar together. And let me tell you, Spotlight is the ultimate tool. Yes, you can just type the first few letters of an app to launch it, but it's also a total powerhouse. You can type in complex math equations, convert currencies, or even figure out temperature conversions instantly, right there in the search bar without ever opening a browser. All right, now for the absolute biggest myth in computing. Macs don't have right-click. Listen, let's bust that right here, right now. If you're using a MacBook trackpad, simply press 2 fingers down on it simultaneously, boom, there is your contextual menu. If you're using an Apple Magic Mouse, you just need to pop into System Settings, click on Mouse, and explicitly enable secondary click over on the right side. The right click absolutely exists. Here is a major difference you really need to know. In Windows, hitting the red X completely closes the program. End of story. On a Mac, hitting the red X only closes the window. The app itself actually stays open in the background, silently eating up your computer's RAM. So to know what's actually running, just look down at your dock. Any app with a tiny black dot underneath it is currently open. To completely fully close an app, hold Command and press Q. Command Q is how you actually quit. Finally, let's fix what is arguably the most claustrophobic menu on the entire Mac. When you go to save a file in, say, Word or Pages, Macs default to this tiny little save menu that barely gives you any folder options at all. It's super frustrating. But look for the tiny down arrow button right next to the Save As field. Click that little arrow, and the menu magically expands into the full, detailed Finder view that you're comfortable with. It lets you easily navigate to the exact folder where you actually want to drop your file. And just like that, the moving trucks are gone and you are fully moved in. Think about it. You've successfully migrated all your data, you've bridged the hard drive language barrier, customized your Finder floor plan to actually make sense, and rewired your muscle memory for essential Mac navigation. I know the transition might have felt pretty intimidating at first, but now you hold the keys. So now that you've unpacked your data and mastered the floor plan, will you ever look at a Windows PC the same way again? Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Enjoy exploring your brand new Mac, and I'll see you in the next one.